So here's the hydrogen generator, and you can see in the jar on the left that it is actually producing a gas, and the jar on the right is actually where it's the electrolyzer is actually functioning to break the molecules. I'll see if I can zoom in close to that one and you can see the action of the bubbles happening. I don't know if you can see that from this particular camera. I'm going to zoom back out and I'm going to set the camera down, and then I'm going to actually let you hear the bubbles blowing up as I light them on fire. As you can hear, that is a highly flammable gas being created solely by water alone. Instead of using a battery source right now, I'm actually using a battery charger set in the manual mode so that it produces enough amps to actually do that. And in the jar where I have the clamps with the power, I have a mild solution of baking soda and water, distilled water. You have to use distilled water. And I put a slight bit of vinegar in there to help put the corrosion. Even though the electrolyzer uses stainless steel wires, which I bought at Ace Hardware, and I twisted to make them double the thickness, the positive side still tends to get a little bit of corrosion on it from the oxygen. The positive side attracts the oxygen molecules, and the negative side attracts the hydrogen molecules. So the hydrogen doesn't corrode the metal, but the oxygen does pretty heavily, which is what you see. If you can see in the bottom of the jar, all the brown stuff, that is actually rust that has come off of the wire, I believe. It also could partially be a byproduct of making the hydrogen. On the lid here you can see I've got an output which is back in the back there. I've got a positive and a negative. I also have the little blue check valve on the top. That is just a valve that if it overpressures, that valve will blow instead of blowing up my jar. The other line coming out of the front there next to the blue thing is a valve that allows air to get into the system, although it actually isn't working right at the moment, so not 100% sure. That's just in the design that I found online. This is my first time doing this, and I don't think I'll be installing this particular model on my vehicle. I've got some ideas on building some with a much higher output. You can see that is a pretty constant output of oxygen and hydrogen coming out, which is actually called HHO gas. Once you break the molecules, you get hydrogen, hydrogen, and oxygen, rather than two hydrogen molecules bonded to one oxygen molecule, which is just water. Anyways, there it is. That's my hydrogen generator.